Coach, we find ourselves due east from our nation's capital at FedEx Field in Landover, Maryland. Today, it's a Week 14 matchup that should be a good one between the New York Giants and the Washington Redskins. 3/4 of the NFL season are complete. What lurks in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. First and 10, Winston. And his first pass here is going to fall incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. And it's a welcome back to health for last year's #1 pick. This is Dalvin Cook. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll be a 3rd and about 13.
Well, that play was over before it even got started. Thanks for nothing, huh? How about that? That sets up a very difficult 3rd down call now.
And this opening drive not going to plan. This is now 3rd and 13. Working out of the gun, Winston. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown. Absolute mess. Now Jordan Berry on to kick this one away. Back deep is Philip Dorsett. Fielded just inside the 20. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And it'll be Redskins football now with a 1st and 10. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now a carry for the shifty Dion Lewis. And he is going to lose yardage here. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Luke Kuechly combines speed, intelligence, toughness, puts it all together. It makes plays like one we just saw there. He may not be a big-time blitzer, but boy, he knows how to pursue straight ahead and make plays in the run game.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. On 2nd down, Lynch. This is caught by Antonio Brown. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Lucky 56. Lucky 56. Gone.
They snap it at 1. Now it's Lynch. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
Following the interception, Winston. It's brought in by Adam Humphries. And he gets it down to the 32. A gain of 6 there on first.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route. And what you have to do on that one as a receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Here's Winston. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
Well, they were handed great starting field position on this drive, but now they face a 3rd and 4. Off the play fake, Winston. Looking deep for Demarius. So they took a shot there on 3rd down, couldn't get it. Now it's 4th.
But one thing's for sure, when you got a big receiver and you trust him downfield, you got to give him opportunities to go up and get that 50-50 ball.
And he is a darn good big receiver. Unfortunately, that time didn't work out. Nice job defensively. They'll try the field goal now with Graham Gano. It'll be a 49-yard attempt from the left hash. And Gano's kick is right through. And the Giants are off now to a 3-0 lead. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces them to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. It's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Out comes the Washington offense as we get a look at the playoff race in the NFC. As we take a look at the playoff picture, and certainly a lot of jostling still to go in these final few weeks. For the moment, they would be a wild card team, far from locked up, but that's why this is exciting. These last few weeks, a lot to play for.
Yeah, exciting for us because we get to talk about it, and, you know, at the end of the day, 6 teams are going to go from each conference, and guess what? We're going to have a playoff. But nerve-wracking for all the people involved, all the teams, because their goal is to get there. And anything less than that makes the season a disappointment. So they've got to be primed now for a big finish to their season.
He's got his man on the comebacker. That's Watkins. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a first down.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball.
Exactly right. You have a guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10.
Leopard! No, check. Patriot! Leopard!
Now they'll run with Lewis. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. And the Buffet boys, the O-line. Hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
Leopard!
Lynch looking to throw on second. Philip Dorsett holds it in. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. First catch for him. It's good for a dozen and a first down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
So the drive takes him into Giants territory now. 1st and 10 at the 46. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. On first down, it's Lynch. And that's incomplete. The all-pro linebacker Luke Kuechly right there on the coverage, stride for stride.
But there's no trace of nervousness there. He was able to diagnose that play from his linebacker position, stay in excellent coverage, and bat the ball away.
2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Lynch. Oh, nearly picked. And maybe lucky there. This guy doesn't drop many defensively. 3rd down.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. On 3rd down, Lynch. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. His first catch, good for 16 and a first.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
Redskins with their first trip to the red zone thus far. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 17. They run. This is Lewis. And he'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 14-yard line. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6-7.
Back live, Charles Davis to my right. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Redskin football to begin quarter number 2. They face a 2nd and 7 to start things out. Lynch to throw. Looking right side, and that's complete to Watkins. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Set! Green 39! Green 39! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Gone, gone! Gone, gone! Check. Lucky.
Delay of game, offense.
So that'll back him up 5.
Still 3rd down.
Delay of game penalty. Ships him back 5 yards, makes it 3rd and 10.
Gun, gun! Gun, gun!
From the shotgun, it's Lynch. He's going to be sacked. Back at the 23-yard line. Frank Clark in there to get him. And that's sack number 6 for him on the year. Well, this has been a pretty sizable drive. They've had some success. Finally, the defensive coordinator found some success of his own.
I think he just simply said enough of that. Okay, they've moved the ball well. We need to force the issue from our end, and that's exactly what he did.
So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone, get you 6?
The Giants offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. Just, I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6.
Offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Cook following the penalty. And an alley to run. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 13 on the play, and it'll bring up a 2nd down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33.
Ready! Move ready!
Now a 2nd down throw for Winston. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down. Now that screen there on 2nd down certainly didn't develop how they had hoped. Is that one they should have even tried, or is that one the quarterback sticks in his pocket?
I think the latter. I like what you said there, because trying it is one thing. We can second guess just about every call. But in this case, when you realize that it's broken down, just throw it at the feet of your intended receiver so that no one can pick it off, right? You don't have the ball tipped up in the air, and you come back and try and pick up the 1st down on 3rd down. That way you don't lose any yardage.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
And what did we talk with them about prior to the game? Their ability to move the chains, pick up 1st downs. So far, 0 for 3 on 3rd down. If that continues, they'll have little chance of winning this one.
Here's Dorsett. It's a nifty return of 29 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And they had a long drive last time, but they had to settle for a field goal, and I'm sure that's how it felt to them, settling. They probably should have gotten in the end zone.
They're not out and out joy, right? Because that's what you get when you put the ball in the end zone. But there are benefits to that type of a long drive. Your defense gets a chance to take a break, adjust a little bit, maybe get themselves ready to get back out on the field and play a little bit better. So they'll take the benefit even though they wanted the 6 points.
And maybe wore down the other defense. We'll see. So they had the big loss on that 1st down pass play and facing a 2nd and long.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Throwing, Lynch. Wide open receiver, complete. And he'll get it down here to the 43. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down.
Some think that teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
On third down, that's Lewis. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
Well, partner, what do you think? Might have been 4-down territory if they didn't pick it up, but...
Yeah, it's a moot point now. I was curious, so if they didn't get it there, would they have gone for it? I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, we didn't have to make that call, but I have a feeling both of us would have said, go for it.
On first and 10, it's Lynch. Over the middle, he's got Watkins. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. 12 yards there as they move the chains. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play. But what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
A minute 58 to go in this first half of play. Back to FedEx Field following this short break. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again, they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
Detroit! Detroit!
Now Lewis. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on third down?
When we talk about Luke Kuechly, you can't talk about his overall game without talking about his intelligence and how he controls the whole defense. He quarterbacks that defense, and at times will actually make checks, just like a quarterback would on offense to get them into the right defense. They definitely were on that play. How about that finish? Holding that to a minimal gain.
On third down, it's Lewis. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Washington. Dion Lewis with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Redskins are able to strike for 6.
And that touchdown gives them a touchdown lead before they attempt the extra point. What a great way to end the half.
Yeah, great job to put themselves in front. And now, see on the sideline, special teams defense scrambling, saying we want to preserve this for the final moments of this second quarter. Elliott good on the extra point, and the lead is now 10-3. Elliott now to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. New York set to take the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30.
Ready! White 25!
Second down, Winston. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there and gets the good defensive position, able to affect the play.
Jameis to throw it. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge, and that's good enough for a first down. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
And that's how you pick up a first down. Not only does he make the catch, but has enough body control to get his feet down inbounds, toe tapping and dragging to make sure he gets it done.
Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
They've been playing sound fundamental defense thus far and able to keep this offense from creating a major dent on the scoreboard.
Able to force the incompletion, but still waiting for that game-changing play. You feel like it's coming, the first sack, the first turnover.
In a sense, they're playing old-school defense right now. The new-school defense is what you said, taking the ball away.
On second down, Winston again. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Jonathan Jones that time, the one who got a hand in, knocked it away.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Jameis again. He finds Humphreys. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Adam Humphreys as the first half is winding down. And the Giants are an extra point away from tying up this football game. And a little time left on the clock, so on the other side, they're thinking, gosh, we'd like to get that lead right back.
Yeah, thanks for pointing that out. Here I am going ahead and tapping out the first half.
Well,
there's still time. They've got to make a decision about what they want to do on the kickoff, whether they want to let their return guy touch it.
Here comes Philip Dorsett now to return it. Now a hit and a loose football. And they will take over at the 26-yard line. Winston now to throw on first down. That's going to be caught. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. Here's Winston. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by the USC man, Adoree Jackson. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. Final play of the first half, barring a penalty, as they come up on 1st and 10. Final play of the half. It's Lynch. He's going deep for Brown. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. So thanks to the late touchdown, it's a time ball game here. Due to time constraints, we move you forward in today's broadcast to the beginning of the 3rd quarter. And ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. Returnable for Dorsett. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. So out now come the Redskins. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up. They'll start things on first down with Dion Lewis. A very good move, but for a relatively modest gain out near the 32. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3.
Lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Play action. It's Lynch. Got a man open. It's Ricky Seals-Jones. And out across midfield down to the 45. That one goes for 24 yards.
Well, from an offense's perspective, that sure was pretty because the corner route is extremely difficult to defend from my perspective.
What we just saw there, is that sort of the evolution of the tight end position?
Yeah, I think it is because more and more, tight ends are being treated like wide receivers. These are some agile players who can make a play in any spot on the field.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push forward for right around 3 yards down to the 42.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Gun! 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 Alert! Detroit! Detroit! Gun! 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 Gun!
Play action. Now Lynch. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 15 yards through the air and a first down.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Desmond King making the tackle.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
Gun! 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 Gun!
They go play action now. Lynch. And he whips that one incomplete there. Philip Dorsett, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd and 5. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides, where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
On 3rd down, it's Thompson, and this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
To chalk that down as an 8-play drive, capture the field goal.
Yeah, as a friend of mine used to say, they were moving in group, but they couldn't keep the momentum going enough to get a touchdown out of it.
After the field goal, here's Elliott to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Jameis Winston and company heading back onto the field now. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
First down, here's the run with Cook. Slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Now Jameis on second down. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. It's a loss of 2, now third down. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
Third and long for Winston. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and that's going to make it fourth down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards.
Sometimes those lines that are drawn on a grease board or in a playbook, they come to life out on the field, don't they? And we just saw down that outside handoff to the right.
That right tackle, he gets excited for that call, doesn't he?
He does, because he just wants to dominate his guy and say, listen, I was the point of attack. I took care of business. That's why you're able to get downfield and add all those yards to your total.
Yeah, really nice gain there. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
On second down, Lynch. And that is incomplete. Antonio Brown, the intended receiver. And now it's third down.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by DeMonte Casey. He's at the 30, 10, and he will score. Touchdown, Giants. Gano for the extra point. Extra point try good by Gano. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. This is fielded at the goal line. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. And following the pick six, and they had decent field position in throwing that pick six. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help them a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws or no problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. On second down, here's Lynch. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. A big play there on the catch and run. 71 yards.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, They're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal. Back now at FedEx Field. It's the Redskins with the football, but trailing here as we get down to the good stuff. Quarter number 4. Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown. And that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal. They'll try to sneak with Lynch. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Redskins. Paxton Lynch with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Redskins have taken the lead here in the 4th quarter.
Instead of having to play follow the leader there, the leader led.
I like that. And he likes that, doesn't he? 1st and goal, let me do the job.
Because you know when he falls into the end zone after falling behind those big guys who pushed up front, that's a pretty good celebration, isn't it?
Gives him a little street cred in the locker room, too, doesn't it?
Street cred, and then when they go out to dinner afterwards, he's still picking up the check.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. As the Giants head back out there, let's take a look at the playoff picture in the NFC. And I tell you, 4 weeks still to go, and everything is wide open, and it's fun.
And I know we always talk about, well, if the playoffs were to begin today, and then we kind of go, okay, but they're not. Let's see how it plays out. Wouldn't it be fun to play with this playoff lineup right now? Because to me, just about anyone can win this whole thing out of this grouping we currently have. And by the time we get there, it may look entirely different.
And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
1st down, Winston. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. A 2nd down throw for Winston. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. Demaryius Thomas, the intended receiver, and that'll make it 3rd down.
There are a good number of coaches at any time they call an in route are really worried about the play because there's so much traffic ordinarily that the ball has to get through to get to the receiver. And on that play, it was batted down.
Now Winston. And an alley to run. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. For a big guy, Jameis sure can move. Did a nice job there picking up the 1st down with his legs.
All right, partner, I'm a defender, but I've got to express my admiration there. Moving around, making it happen, and instead of worrying about protecting himself, he goes and gets the 1st down. I got to give it to him on that one.
Normally, you don't want your guy taking shots, your quarterback, but it's winning time here in the 4th quarter. If he needs to make those plays with the legs, go ahead, right?
Yeah, no doubt about it. At this stage of the game, all protections, they're off. Sometimes play calls boil down to philosophy. You know you're facing one of the top 10 units against the run in the NFL. So do you decide to keep smashing against them, or do you decide to throw the ball here?
And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play. And that'll force upon him a 3rd and 14.
Ready. Black 25.
From the gun, Winston. Escaping the pressure right. He may try and run for this. He'll wind up getting 4 yards there on his own, but it also brings up 4th down.
And they had an extra defensive back on the field on that play, and the coverage was excellent. He tried to pull it down and run for it, but they rallied to him and kept him short of a 1st down.
And Gano's kick is right through. And in the 4th quarter, this game is tied. Well, you talk about clutch. That one was right down Broadway, and this game's all even here in the fourth.
Yeah, he didn't leave any doubt, did he? Good snap, good hold, dead center. Almost like a big-time golfer in a major, firing at a pin from the fairway, trying to win the tournament going down the stretch.
A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. They start the drive on the ground with Lewis. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And it'll make this a 2nd and long.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Lynch looking to throw on 2nd. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Zach Brown. And he will score. Touchdown, Giants. In a tie game, fourth quarter, that's about as big of a defensive play as you can possibly make.
And it didn't happen by accident. That was scouting right there. They've seen things that have happened before. They knew in certain situations the type of plays they like to run, read it, and were able to go after the football, get it, and take it into the end zone for a touchdown for themselves.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll start on the ground with Breida. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39. Over.
This is Lewis. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. On first down, it's Lynch. And he rifles one incomplete. Ricky Seals-Jones, the intended receiver. That'll bring up 2nd down.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. 2nd and 10, it's Lynch again. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
And the blitz does come. And incomplete on the deep ball.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down.
Detroit! Detroit! Gun! 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 Gun!
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off at the 48, and they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line. Agreed, that's twice now in this 4th quarter.
As a quarterback, a lot of times you think it's all on you to make plays when you're losing. And here, the play's not there, but he throws it anyway.
And New York set to take the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking. And I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Ready? Black 22!
On 2nd down, Cook. And despite the good footwork, he'll be hit and dropped shy of the 45. And quickly, we're going to get another stop here with 1:54 left as they call the timeout defensively. The Giants on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and 8.
Ready? Black 25!
Handoff comes to Cook. And he showcases the spin. A pretty good game before he's taken down. Now Washington going to use the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. His kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. So that's a big one. Obviously, Charles makes it a 2-score game. His 3rd field goal of the game, able to knock it through.
Yeah, not exactly free and clear yet, but as a defense, you get to play a little bit looser, don't you? Because you do now have a little bit of a margin of error, don't you?
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Clock running here, under 90 seconds to go. Here's Lynch. And he drops this off to Thompson, complete. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue. Clock management, definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now it's Lynch. Throw right side, going to be caught by Seals-Jones. And he's able to get this down deep on the Giants side of the field. A huge play there for Washington. 49 yards.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Lynch to throw. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. The all-pro linebacker Luke Kuechly right there on the coverage, stride for stride.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. Throwing now is Lynch. He's going to be sacked back at the 23-yard line. Jabal Sheard in there to drop him as the clock continues to roll.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now Paxton Lynch on 3rd and long. And this one is incomplete.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man on man. And you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
So it's an empty trip downfield there as they get a missed field goal on 4th down.
And I didn't see anything in the setup. It's a good snap, good hold.
Yep.
He just pushed it. And that one never wanted to come back.
The D can only stop it one more time as they take the knee. Well, I know at points in this when you wanted to close your eyes because of all the points that were being put on the scoreboard. You're a defensive guy, but it was a fun little track meet, wasn't it?
It was, and you know the people who really enjoyed this game? They're the ones that like going to batting practice at the major